I was buried in bookkeeping, wrists aching, eyes half-glazed, when my phone rattled across the desk like a trapped insect. One glance at the notification, and every figure on my monitor dissolved into useless noise.
Sarah.
Just grabbing coffee with a friend. Warm drink, catching up. Miss you. And the little heart she still added after 8 years, sitting there like a joke written by a stranger pretending to be her. My thumbs froze. A pressure rose in my chest, not quite suspicion, just that uneasy flicker you get right before rain hits. I typed something, erased it. Tried again. My pulse pounded in my ears. Tell him I said hi. Then actually ask him if his wife liked the photos from the lake trip. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared.
Returned.
Then nothing. 37 seconds stretched into an era. Then she replied. What photos? The floor seemed to tilt under me. Because there were no photos from any lake weekend we'd spent together. But 6 months earlier she'd come home sun-kissed, glowing, claiming she'd unplugged with her girlfriends up north. She'd shown me pictures, her laughing on a dock, glass of wine raised toward a melting sunset, Jenna's arm looped around her shoulders. I'd told her she looked peaceful.
Perfect.
I'd saved the photos. Now they felt poisonous. The ones where you're wearing my gray hoodie, the hoodie you said got wrecked in the wash. Funny thing, it came back from that girl's trip spotless. No answer. Not even the dots. My hands trembled until the phone slid out of them and clattered against the desk. 8 years. 2 miscarriages. Nights we held each other on the kitchen floor. The night we slow danced in the dark because our daughter finally slept through the night. All of it caved in on itself, without making a sound. I called her. Straight to voicemail. Her cheerful college-era greeting felt like someone scraping bone. I called again. And again. Every unanswered ring hollowed me. Then her text arrived. Asterisk, can we talk when I get home? Please. Asterisk. No denial. No frantic defense. Just that gentle please she used when she already knew the ending. I left work without a word. Drove home with the windows down so the November cold could slap me awake. Every love song on the radio felt like a mockery. My mind replayed every strange moment from the past year. How exhausted she'd been in the spring. How she guarded her phone. How she stiffened when I touched her like she was startled by my hands. I sat in the driveway for an hour, watching our porch light twitch like it was gasping its last. When her SUV finally rolled in, its headlights swept across the garage like searchlights. She stayed inside for a long time, forehead against the steering wheel. Then she stepped out, moving slowly, as if pushing through thick water. Her mascara had bled into bruised shadows under her eyes. She saw me and stopped a few paces away. Jake. My name cracked in her throat. I couldn't speak. My tongue felt like stone. It wasn't supposed to happen, she whispered. Too small, too fragile to mean anything. How long? I managed. My voice scraped raw. She stared at the pavement. Since April. 7 months. 7 months of her kissing me goodnight with another man's scent still in her hair. 7 months of me packing her lunch on nights she worked late. 7 months of loving a woman who was already gone. His wife. I asked. She found out last week, Sarah murmured. That's why you sent that coffee text. The laugh that tore out of me didn't sound human. She reached out first, she whispered, tears sliding down her cheeks. I was going to end it tonight. I swear. I was walking inside to end it. But you didn't. She had no answer. We stood there in the cold until the porch light finally flickered out, leaving us in darkness. I wanted to scream, to break something, to beg her to choose me again. But what came out instead was the sentence that closed the door on our life. Pack a bag. You're not staying here tonight. Jake. Now, Sarah. She slipped past me into the house like a fading echo. I listened to her moving upstairs, drawers opening, the soft thunk of a suitcase, the faint jingle of keys. 20 minutes later, she came back down with the overnight bag we'd bought for our honeymoon. She paused at the door. I'm so sorry, she whispered. I never meant to hurt you. You didn't hurt me, I said, surprised at how calm I sounded. You erased me. She left, the door closing with a quiet click that felt like a coffin being sealed. I stood outside until the neighbor's sprinklers soaked my shoes and the babysitter across the street turned our daughter's nightlight off. Inside, the house smelled like her perfume and the lie we'd been living. I looked at that coffee text one last time, took a screenshot, trimmed off the heart she didn't deserve, and sent it to the person who needed it most. His wife replied almost instantly. Asterisk, thank you. I owe you. Asterisk. I silenced my phone, poured a heavy glass of the bourbon we'd been saving for Lily's graduation someday, and drank in the dark until the numbness finally won. Around 4 in the morning, the truth settled in my bones. The worst part wasn't the cheating. The worst part was that a piece of me still hoped she'd fight to come back. She didn't.